Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. It's good to see y'all again. It's my bi bi-weekly visit, or my actually once every 2 weeks I might make a video. So here I am. All right, so yeah, I wanted to check out this new Gigguk video. Obviously, I love Gigguk. I think he does a great job with giving good anime recommendations, so this ought to be good. And yeah, let's go ahead and check this one out. Should be a lot of fun. Let's see what I agree with and what I don't agree with. I usually agree with most of what he says, usually 90%. So, all right, let's go.
2021 might not have lived up to be the savior of 2020 as we all originally hoped it to be, but you know what? At least the anime was pretty banging, right? This year was the year of anime that we deserved after 2020.
Oh, and by the way, I've watched like the first 2 episodes of Comey Can't Communicate, and I like it. It's really good.
There was so much great stuff that came out this year that
putting
when
that
picking
out
my
there.
favorites, I had to be pretty cutthroat in what I talked about today, or we'd be here all day. Beastars 2, Dragon Maid 2,
Not into
Slime
it.
2 won't be making my list because even though I watched them all and love them, I don't have anything interesting to say about them other than, yeah, it's more of the same good shit, innit? Jujutsu Kaisen and my previous anime of the year, ReZero, pretty much continued what I said about them last year, so if it was a sequel or continuation, I didn't have anything more interesting to add, it's cut. But before we get to the best shows I saw, let's see all.
Oh, there's one. Is that this? Am I thinking of that? No, I'm not thinking of the same anime. But what was I gonna say? God damn it! Oh, I still haven't checked out. I've only seen the first 4 episodes of Demon Slayer in the first season. I don't know. I need to get on that, I guess.
All the other amazing things that happened for anime in 2021. The year started off with X-Arm, an anime that broke new records by being one of the lowest rated anime to come out on MAL on release.
Oh, yeah.
An anime that had more bugs than Cyberpunk by a team that had never worked on an anime before.
Ugh.
To the surprise of everybody, that made Berserk 2017 look like Violet Evergarden, using animation techniques never before seen in the history of the medium.
What?
In summary, anime of the year. Not to be outdone, after years of radio
Oh,
silence,
boy.
High Guardian Spice
We were all waiting for this to come out to make fun of it. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
dropped to stunning praise. I mean, just look at this. The opening has 9,000 likes and not a single dislike. I guess everyone enjoyed it. A lot of people refuse to call this anime at all, but how could you not when this is clearly...
Oh, and by the way, there's an app that you can get on your Google Chrome that lets you see the dislikes. So, you know, just putting that out there. If you wanted to see how many dislikes maybe this video has, I think it's called Bring Back Dislikes. So, you know, if you're so inclined.
the most accurate adaptation we've ever gotten of those early 2000s how to draw manga books. Not also forgetting we got the groundbreaking release of the revolutionary biopic about the greatest gamer to ever live. Redo of Healer. Completing quests like its Final Fantasy collect.
Yeah, don't. I couldn't even. You know, I've been known to watch a little hentai on the down low, but I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna say it. At your own risk.
Eating chicks like it's Pokemon, healing bitches like it's Overwatch, and for his ultimate move, enchanting dicks like it's Minecraft. What a true gamer. Honestly, shock value aside, I would have preferred this just be a proper hentai with full-length scenes so I don't have to pretend to give a shit about the writing. I think it speaks wonders that Redo tried so bad to be offensive, not even Twitter was offended because it was so bad. Overall, history, deleted, phone, yeeted, holy water, needed, meat.
Let me get this straight. One of the wealthiest, most powerful men in the world is secretly a vigilante, and your plan is to blackmail this person?
Damn right it is, because you are black and you are male.
After much anticipation, Netflix released their reimagining of Cowboy Bebop and
I gotta watch it. At some point, I do have to watch it. Um, I if I do watch it, like, and make a video, like a reaction video to, like, watching this, it's gonna get hit like crazy, I assume. Um, Definitely won't be monetized. Uh, but I have to torture myself by watching it. By the way, I was right. Uh, I'm getting no praise, even though everybody knew it was going to be garbage.
And I mean, what can I say? You got fantastic scripting, straight out of Seinfeld. Vicious looks just as threatening as a Dogecoin millionaire. And I'm happy for all these cast members getting another great acting gig.
What? What
happened to
what
John
happened
Cho?
John Cho was fucking killing it on a sick hit Netflix show. That's what happened to John Cho.
Promised Neverland Season 2 thought it would be a good idea to skip 60-odd chapters worth of content containing one...
First season was good. I haven't seen the people said don't watch it, so I didn't.
One of the most beloved arcs of the manga to skip right to the end and kind of hope that people just wouldn't notice. Shockingly, they did. One Piece celebrated its 1000th episode, which is an absolutely amazing achievement, showing that
Not a big fan of One Piece.
Are unmatched in their sheer commitment to one thing, proving that they are in fact the ideal life partner anyone could hope for. If it was actually possible for a One Piece fan to get laid. Speaking of not getting laid, Evangelion fans were finally rewarded. I don't know why I'm making these jokes. I'm an Eva fan and a One Piece fan. Evangelion fans were finally rewarded as Evangelion was 3+1.
21.
As fans were given the one ending no one ever expected. An actual fucking ending. Yes, longtime fans like myself were finally able to say goodbye as Evangelion
Haven't seen it.
turns around one
I've seen like
last
2
time and said,
episodes.
good night, good morning, thank you, and finally... Honestly, it's hard to put into words the wave of emotion I felt watching a franchise so dear to my heart actually being put to rest, but even so, there was something else this year that hit me even harder. Every so often, we come across someone in history that's seemingly been able to immortalize themselves through their work. Someone standing at the pinnacle of their craft, setting the standard their fellow peers aspire to reach, and inspiring countless others with a sphere of influence you'll never be able to
Is this gonna be
quantify.
It's a little
But you
misdirection.
feel it. Someone like this doesn't appear every day, but if there is a person out there who I think can claim that title, it's Kentaro Miura.
Oh, okay.
Berserk is a title that should
Never mind.
need no introduction.
Thought he was just gonna
manga
go
that's
for a
constantly
joke.
at the top of everyone's favorites of all time. It's a gruesome story with some of the most nightmarish imagery you can find anywhere in the media.
Go read the
Yet
manga.
I can't think of
Even
any
though it's
other
never
way
gonna
to
get
describe this
finished.
tale other than beautiful. There's a soul to Berserk I can't even begin to describe, but I can feel it emanating from every panel as though a piece of Miura himself was etched into every page. It's something that went beyond
So good.
the medium of manga, a craft we rarely ever get to see. And now, something we'll never be able to see the end of. In times like these, it can be easy to lament the things that we'll never be able to experience. We'll never be able to see Griffith's kingdom, the ancient king's...
By the way, still haven't read the final chapter. Just, it just kind of sucks. It's never going to get done. So, but I will eventually read it.
backstory. Guts finding his revenge and closing off the final chapter of everything he's been through. But to me, no matter what things we'll never get the chance to see in the future, what we were lucky enough to get the chance to bear witness to in the first place will always trump that. You were able to bear witness to a lost soul finding purpose in life in a place he really shouldn't have been able to. You were able to bear witness to someone
Sorry, I
who
usually
had
don't
found
drink
beauty
beer.
in the most hellish of places. You were able to bear witness to one man who never gave up on life, never stopped fighting, never backed down when not a single soul would have blamed him for doing so. You were able to bear witness to one of the greatest stories ever told.
Yeah. Dude, when I heard about that, that fucking killed me. I died inside. That sucks. Well.
Alright, let's get to it. Anime has conditioned me into thinking every romance needs a little bit of drama, a little bit of conflict, a little bit of spice. But what happens when you present me, the anime spice master, a completely spiceless vanilla romance about people who like each other, then end up together with little resistance? Turns out, it's pretty damn good. Horimiya proves that you don't need some complicated love dodecahedron to have a great anime romance. The most extraordinary thing it does is how many unextraordinary things happen in it. But that's exactly what makes it so great. It's so casual, so
I'm gonna be honest, I have never heard of it, so...
unbelievably real that it's comforting. You see this girl? Well, she heard her boyfriend was hanging out with another girl and getting a bit chummy. I know what you're thinking, right? Classic misunderstanding. That is, until she did this one simple trick every romance writer hates her for. She asked him about it, and he explained it to her.
Is this some kind of twisted joke?
It's just refreshing seeing characters like each other, get together, then act like mature fucking people. And watching this made me realize that, you know what? A nice, wholesome, simple, vanilla relationship is the best thing any person can hope for.
Gunnar, can you come help me pick up the Evangelion Ono holes? I just got the 50-kilogram anime titties in the mail, and I have to go pick up the pussy of the round table too, so I could really use your help a little bit here, okay?
I don't have much to say about that.
A
Ooh!
medium with some of the most decorated sci-fi shows of all time, you'd think it wouldn't take this long before some exec would have the realization of, maybe a Star Wars anime would be a good idea. Star Wars Visions is what happens if you give a bunch of talented creators and studios the budget and creative freedom to do whatever they
I heard about this, but I didn't even know it was out. Alright, I gotta check that out.
want with an IP and see if they can deliver. Which they did. 9 stories filled with wonderful ideas that push the imagination of what we've seen in the Star Wars universe and the concert episode. I'll be honest, I'm not even a Star Wars fan except for 2 things: Jedis and lightsaber battles, and oh boy. We've got lightsabers that look like katanas. This chick has a lightsaber umbrella that she uses to helicopter into a fight. This dude uses a crystal to supercharge his lightsaber into a rainbow super saber so he can go at hyperspeed while standing on the nose of an X-Wing so he can tear a fucking Star Destroyer in half. This shit had so much lightsaber porn, General Grievous had to watch it in incognito mode. Star Wars Visions is the Star Wars I wanted from Star Wars. It reels you into a corner of this amazing universe, then spits you off for the next exciting, exhilarating ride before you have a chance to catch your breath. And I really hope we don't have to wait as long again to see the next anime set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Might have to check that one out.
With the amount of sequels these days, it feels more like a quick cash grab. My gut reaction to seeing any continuation for a story that's already clearly finished is just stop.
it.
The original Megalobox detailed the rise of Gearless Joe and his journey of winning the prestigious boxing tournament of Megalonia. And by the season end, everything was wrapped up. The character arc was complete.
I
the
haven't
plot
seen
threads
this.
were tied up. The story was over. There was nowhere left
I like the
for this
animation,
tale
though.
to go. Nomad was a sequel I didn't want or asked for, yet somehow it managed to exceed its predecessor in just about every way possible. Forget a boxing anime with some character development, this was a character-driven drama with some boxing in it. It took the hero it had so carefully built up and completely broke him. Depression, drug abuse, managing grief. This is Joe in Megalobox Season 1, and this is Joe. Post-2020, Joe's story is no longer a simple rise-to-fame underdog tale. It's an introspective saga of the fall of a hero, the inability to live up to legacy, and the struggle for redemption that comes after it. This is the benchmark of how to make a sequel to a story that's already ended, showing us there's always a new angle to explore, a new place to take a character, because there's always something that happens after Happily Ever After. Jesus Christ, did I just fucking quote Shrek?
Word up.
It wouldn't be a Gigguk video without some anime girls, and 2021 saw the tale of 2 waifus on the opposite side of the spectrum I can't pick between. So I'm gonna cheat and put them in the same place.
I haven't seen Nagatoro, but, you know, I'm watching Komi right now. Komi's pretty good. I hear Nagatoro's pretty good, too. I don't have had the time.
On one side, we've got the cute but quiet Komi-san. She's hashtag relatable because she's a super introvert.
I do that.
And she has trouble speaking because she has social anxiety.
I do that.
But she's so beautiful and good looking that everyone respects her and wants to be friends with her anyway. And on the other side is Nagatoro, basically just a doujin character who found herself her own anime with enough smug energy to power the entire nation of Switzerland. Before airing, these were the two anime girls that dominated every profile picture I'd see. And I thought 2021 would be the war of the anime profile pictures, where Komi, Sims and Nagatoro fans would compete over which profile picture would get clowned on the most on the internet. Then, out of nowhere, NFT Bros appeared and went, hold my circus. Both of these shows follow its own simple formula that just works. Seeing Komi's journey of conquering her social anxiety just triggered this innate desire in me to protect at all costs. But the biggest surprise was Nagatoro. I thought this was only going to appeal to the average Discord user who has the aspiration to one day be stepped on. I mean, just look at this devious smile. Look at the way she's making this guy cry. Look at this face and tell me she didn't just post memes in general, the bitch. But seeing the relationship develop between the unlikely couple was just the most wholesome surprise of the year. The smile far exceeded the smug, and I couldn't help but get invested. It's just simple, pure, light-hearted fun on all sides of the spectrum, so what can I say except it's wholesome? What can I say except it's wholesome? Alan, cut that. I remember the first time watching shows like Serial Experiments Lane, Evangelion, Fooly Cooly, and not being able to understand anything I watched at all. Yet something about them stuck with me, like a parasite in my thoughts that I didn't come to fully appreciate until years after I had first watched them. And I have a feeling that Sunny Boy is gonna do exactly that for me. Sunny Boy is easily the most overlooked anime of 2021. Hell, even I overlooked it until one day I was just randomly recommended the OST to the show on YouTube, and on a whim, I gave it a listen, and instantly, I just fell in love. I needed to know what this show was about. Sometimes you don't watch a show because of something concrete that you can verbalize, but because of a feeling it gives you, and I don't know how I can say that without sounding like some pretentious art snob, but I have no other way to describe it. Its complex, multifaceted message is hidden behind a web of story paths steeped in surrealism that I can't even begin to untangle. From the concept of death, to the inner depths of the human psyche, to the nature of life itself. It's not ideas that will immediately leave an impact on you, but ones that slowly soak and seep in over time. I'm not going to pretend I understood everything about this anime, but I can already tell that part of it is going to stick with me for...
I really like the animation. And I kind of like the concepts he's talking about. So, yeah. Alright, Sunny Boy.
years to come. I just finished the show a month ago and I already feel nostalgic about it. It won't be appreciated immediately, but just give it a few years and I swear to God, this is one of those anime that will have aged like fine wine. 2021 was the year mecha anime came back with a vengeance. We got to see.
You guys know how I feel about mecha anime. Yeah. Some people like it.
2D mechs again. We got to see sequels to old beloved IPs. We got to see sequels to new beloved IPs. We got to see the greatest thing to ever exist, Gundam Hathaway. Alan, have you been tampering with my script again? But right at the forefront was 86. Watching 86 made me feel like I was a new anime fan again, discovering mecha in the mid-2000s anime boom. It's been so long since I've seen a good old-fashioned military mecha show engage old fans while introducing a plethora of new ones to the genre. Right off the bat, we're introduced to a nation at war that seems to be reminiscent to World War II Germany, so you're like, oh, okay, it's a story where racism bad. And indeed, racism is bad. But as the show goes on and the layers get peeled back, you start to realize there's so much more at play here. The horrors of war, the corruption that comes with it, and the desperation of survival that can drive any person to commit atrocities in the name of victory. It constantly keeps you guessing, keeps you thinking. Season 1 sets up the stakes, sets up the drama, only to have Season 2 shatter everything you knew about the world it presented. This feels like a long-lost Generabuchi show from its prime, and I hope this is just the first of many upcoming mecha shows that can introduce a lot more of the current new generation of anime fans to the genre.
Meh, I'm good. I still haven't checked out JoJo. I tried to watch one episode and I just couldn't do it. It's not for me, I don't think. People like it though, obviously. It's got, everybody likes it. I've never, gone into it. Plus, it gets confusing when people tell you like which ones to watch first, and it's like, no, this one first, and then watch this one afterwards, and you're like, oh, okay.
You Jojo, innit?
If you think you can graduate from this school without kissing my cock, you are dead wrong.
Well, they really went over that one real quick.
At this point, I'm just convinced Studio Wit have hacks enabled because
Nice.
I don't think it's actually possible for them to make a bad show.
Studio
VV was
Wit
just a showcase
rules.
of what happens when you have a top-tier production in every aspect. Take a time-travel Terminator plotline with a badass female cyborg full-fledged action hero, written by the guy who wrote ReZero, with Wit absolutely smurfing on that animation, and what you have is a complete, exhilarating ride from start to finish. This year was the year of anime original shows, and VV is the prime example of what happens when it goes right. This felt like watching a Hollywood blockbuster production in anime form, and my god, was it a joy to see.
Oh yeah, I was wanting to see this because I really liked the animation from the trailer. Yeah, I gotta check this out.
Pretty much the only negative thing I can say about it is that it does everything great, but doesn't do anything exceedingly great. Animation, writing, characters, music, this was a top contender for pretty much every category, while having a show or two that did a better job in one of those aspects. It's the master of everything, but grandmaster of none, and the fact that it's number 7 is more of a testament to how tough the competition was in the top 10, rather than how much of an all-around banger this series was. When you hear about a new work coming from the same creator as a silent voice, you tense up, because you might as well be booting up Dark Souls, Prepare to Cry edition, but sometimes no amount of emotional prep can prepare you. To your
Yeah, I kind of wanted to avoid this one, but you know, I'm gonna watch it eventually because, dude, silent voice killed me. That's a tough one. That's a hard. Just thinking about it, I'm like, God damn.
Eternity follows the journey of an immortal, shape-shifting object gaining sentience from the people and experiences it encounters. There's a poetic beauty in watching something that's the furthest thing from what you can call mortal, discovering its own humanity from the small pieces of everyone it meets. After watching a single episode, a single arc, you know how the series is going to play out. You prepare for the worst with everyone it meets, but it breaks you down anyway because it just carries this emotional weight that pulls down on your heart no matter how strong it is. What does it mean to live forever? What is there to be scared of when death isn't a fear? How do you go on living when everything around you does not? To Your Eternity erects this wall around your heart, tears it down, helps you build it back up just so it can shatter it over and over again. But every time you let it, because like Fushi, a part of that journey sticks with you with every new wall that you build. For a lot of us, there is nothing more frightening than death, but to me, there's something inherently beautiful about taking a being that cannot die and teaching it what it means to be alive.
I might have to watch that one alone.
For years now, Chinese animation has been knocking at the door of the anime community for one massive hit, one super sensation. And in 2021, we went, wait, is this what I think it is?
A succulent Chinese meal.
Link Click doesn't fuck around when it comes to introducing you to its premise. From the very first shot, we are shown the rules, we are shown the characters, we understand the stakes. The curtains roll, the stage is set, and you're thrust headfirst into a super wild ride. The concept immediately grabs you, pulls you in, and refuses to let go. You're put on the first episode, 5 minutes pass, and then you finish episode 5. Time travel is a concept that's been explored to hell and back, but it's genuinely refreshing and addicting when you find an angle that hasn't been done before, and Link Click capitalizes on this to the fullest. I know there's going to be that one comment saying, hey Gigguk, this isn't really anime. And, well, I mean, you can watch the official Japanese Aniplex dub if that makes you happy, because I think this is just going to be the start of high quality Chinese animation having more of a presence in the anime
Looks
community.
good.
Years ago, I was Chinese.
Need to play Shenmue again. I hear this is really good.
We get told the phrase, never judge a book by its cover, time and time again, and then time and time again we go, what the fuck is this stupid children's cartoon doing on my seasonal anime chart? Skip. On the surface, Ranking of Kings looks like your typical cheesy fairy tale of a deaf prince fighting against all odds to become the greatest king in the world. I mean, just look at this little munchkin. What could possibly go wrong? Then episode 2 comes out and you see this guy's entire clan gets massacred while he escapes only to be rewarded by the sight of his dead mother's corpse being paraded around.
Jesus.
This guy gets to see his dad's frozen body get crushed into mush, fucking beheads a bird and is forced to drink the blood from his head. This fucker just goes ahead and chops off his own hand clean off after a fight. The entire thing looks like a children's storybook, but the things that happen in it can be anything but. Through all the cute, wholesome moments, this is a mature tale with complex, multifaceted characters that are always more than meets the eye. You got people like the Queen Mother, the typical evil stepmom you see in every fucking Disney movie who's scheming to give her own son the throne at any cost. Except when it's shown she just doesn't want to give the insane pressure of becoming king to her disabled stepson and actually loves and cares for him as much as her real son. And you can find examples like this all over the show. As soon as you think you know a character, they'll do something unexpected that adds an extra layer of depth to them. People with minimal lines feel like they have a complexity to them that most shows can't give in an entire season. Even the slimiest person has their morals. Even the most noble of people can be slimy. Ranking of Kings is an absolute masterclass in storytelling. It feels like a storybook yet plays out like a historical epic written by George R.R. Martin. This could very much be an anime of the year 2022 in the making if the second half follows through with everything this first half has built up. This is an incredible show I almost missed myself because of my preconceptions, so I swear to God, this is the last time I'll be judging a book by its cover.
Alright, yeah, I gotta check that out. This one I'm not too interested in.
What is this stupid furry bait doing on my seasonal anime chart? Oh fuck. Odd Taxi cemented the sentiment this year that the best shows came from the most unlikely of places. On the surface, this looks like the furthest thing from Anime of the Year contender material, but Odd Taxi doesn't need fancy animation, aesthetic character designs, or a big studio budget behind it because it has the audacity to just try and carry itself with sheer engrossing writing, which it does. Where most shows fail to absorb you in a single plot line, Odd Taxi manages to engross you in 10, with grounded characters and dialogue so punchy it'll make you sit down and go, damn. Word got hands. It's a show that treats you with more of a level of respect than I treat my best friends. Taste in food, there's no hand-holding here. You are shown what you are needed to be shown, one scene, one piece of dialogue at a time. This shot showed this item, okay, this piece goes here. That character mentioned that thing, okay, so that piece goes there. Piece by piece, this puzzle starts to unravel itself. What seems like a pool of unconnected storylines slowly starts to form a coherent whole. But the full picture is never clear until the very last moment where the show stands up, takes off its bathrobe, and cock-slaps you faster than you can say, do you want my rod or this rod? The climactic ending didn't just land on 2 feet. It did a double twisting somersault in the process, backflipped as an encore, then bowed out to a serenade of applause. It shows like these that just reaffirm my faith in anime. It shows me that there are still creators out there willing to make original, provocative works of art in an industry saturated with mediocrity and pandering, and that there is still someone out there who is willing to take the risk to approve it. No matter how much I'll gravitate to the 100th isekai or the next big shonen powerhouse, it's finding gems like these that keep me coming back, and I hope to God that they never stop being made.
Alright. Yep.
The ending of Breaking Bad, the original Star Wars trilogy, the conclusion to the Infinity War saga. I don't think in my history of being an anime fan has it felt like a show transcended from just being a simple anime to a full-blown cultural event, but that's exactly what I felt watching the final season of Attack on Titan. I went into the year thinking the hype couldn't peak harder than it did at the end of season 3, but Attack on Titan season 4 dropped so hard my grandma thought the Germans had come back. It's rare to see a series with the balls to attempt a story with the sheer scale and ambition of the plot on display here, and it's even rarer to see one that...
I haven't paused this in a while. Yeah, I just started watching the second half of the last season. It's pretty goddamn good. Yeah, I've read the manga, so they're talking about there might be an alternate ending in the anime, though. So, kind of, I mean, the reading the manga is depressing. Like, the last, when you finish it, you're like, ugh. But, I don't know, maybe they'll do like a happy ending at the end of the anime. Who knows? That's from what I've been seeing online, that's what a lot of people have been saying. Yeah, but, you know, we'll have to wait and see.
actually manages to follow through with it. To call this season a new look would be an understatement, because until you saw some familiar faces, no one would even blame you for thinking you put on the wrong fucking show. And even then, you still probably wouldn't recognize them. Mikasa went, new haircut, who dis? Erin's gone from, hello sir, nice to meet you, to, oh, Maria isn't the only thing getting smashed tonight. And Armin is finally taller than everyone else. The villains we hated are now our heroes, and the heroes we looked up to are now the villains. New characters, new settings, new conflict, an entirely new genre of show, and it somehow feels like this was the only direction the story could have ever gone. Just how? Seeing the evolution of Attack on Titan from season 1 has not just been a delight for recent shows I've seen, but one of the biggest delights I've had as an anime fan, period. Regardless of how it ends, this has done what few series will ever be able to do. And whether it lands on 2 feet or falls flat on its face this coming year, you bet your ass I'm going to be chomping down on that popcorn the entire way.
All right. What to be number 1?
I don't think it's an understatement to say that in all my years of being an isekai fan, keeping faith while wading through the dozens of the same copy-paste shows for the last decades, that
I'm not an isekai guy. It's just not my thing. But, you know, teach their own.
this was the show I was waiting for. Mushoku Tensei isn't just amazing for an isekai, it isn't just amazing for a fantasy, it is just an amazing show. It's been such a long time since I watched something that awoke that pure, childish sense of adventure, that just made me feel like I was going on a grand adventure with my friends, getting completely lost in a totally new world. The world sucks you in and immerses you. The water magic feels almost alive. You can feel the scorched air of the desert landscape. It's another world that's been stunningly crafted and carefully brought to life.
Animation
I
looks
can't
good.
begin to talk about how good of a job the newly formed Studio Bind did. You see this? Yeah, this is just a throwaway training scene. This spread has more care put into it than the entirety of Seven Deadly Sins Season 3,
Goddamn.
but it maintains this quality through every second of its runtime. The series has the best action scenes, the best dance scenes, the best subtle character moments, the best bread scenes. But it goes beyond just animation. The music, the cinematography, the voice acting, they invented not just one, but 2 made-up languages for different races of this fictional world, which can and has been translated, which is absolutely insane. There's an episode which is like 80% spoken in made-up languages just to further immerse you in this world. Studio Binds poured their fucking hearts into every single little detail, and it shows. Each frame has more love and care put into it than most anime get in an entire season, but behind this masterful craft, there's also just a real heart behind the story being told here. Being a part of Rudius' long journey of learning from his mistakes of his previous life is just an absolute joy to be a part of. There are many things about our protagonist that will understandably put people off the show, and look, I get it, and I don't stand behind it either, because let's not forget, he's this guy. But the series never lets you forget how flawed of a guy he is, and every tiny lesson he learns, every small thing he does to change his actions for the better, just makes you want to stand up and go, yes, that's it! That's what I'm talking about. This isn't a show where I found myself projecting on the main character, but instead cheering him on to become a better person. This is no longer the self-insert isekai. It's a self-reflection isekai, and I think this is true for every single person in this show. His dad, kind of an asshole, but learns from it because parents are still human after all. Eris, well, she's your typical short-fused, violent tsundere bitch you've seen in every other anime, so what happens? She gets the shit beaten out of her. Now she knows there are times to be patient. Characters learn and grow from their mistakes. Everyone is on their own personal journey. You see people, flawed people, fighting to be the best person they can be.
He's got a lot
After
to
all
say
this
about
time,
this one.
I finally understood what isekai was meant to be about. A story that didn't just ignore a person's previous life, but used it as a stepping stone to find the path to a better one. A series that didn't just show you another world, but made you feel like you were a part of it. This is what I watch isekai for. This is what animation was made for, and this is why I goddamn fucking love anime. Isekai trash? Nah. I only watch isekai treasure.
It was kind of corny, bro, but no, I get it. You know, I got you.
But anyway, I've talked for far too long already, even having to cut out so many other shows I enjoyed but didn't have enough to say about. We got it all this year. The good, the bad, the ugly, the weird, the epic, the funny, and the downright beautiful. It's been an up and down year for me overall, but it's been you guys that have helped me get through it. And whether 2021 was a great year for you or not, you can't deny. It was a pretty great year for anime. Hello guys, hope you're enjoying the new year so far. Thank you very much this month.
Alright, thank you, Gigguk. Appreciate it. Yeah, so there you go. That's Gigguk's anime. What was it called again? It's been half an hour. Best anime of 2021. Like I said, I really like Gigguk's work. I like what he does. He puts a lot of effort into everything. Go check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. And yeah, I really have nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that list. It's really well done. So yeah, this is again Charlie Wilson, aka Sinister Charlie. I'll see you guys again. I always say this, but I will try to be more consistent with putting out videos and shit. But it's just that I don't have a whole lot of time. So, but I will try. Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.